We were headed to a fancy restaurant that had been invited by my mother. When we got there, there was only or left.
It seems like there is only one seal. There is no seat prepared for me.
When I asked her that, she grinned this.
This is just a family gathering, so there's no need for you to prepare a seat for me. Oh, but you'll have to pay the bill restaurant.
Beth looked really proud of herself, said this, but I just had enough and couldn't anymore.
I will never pay the bill for a straw.
My name is Megan, and I am a 30-year-old office worker. My husband, Andrew, and I have been married for 3 years now. We are currently both working together and have been supporting each other happily ever since. My husband does his share of the housework, and he also works hard at his job. I respect him, and I think we have a relationship as husband and wife. We were happily married, but there was still one problem that bothered me. It was a big problem for me, and that problem was my mother unknown. My husband has a little brother. So Andrew was the eldest. So that is one of the reasons why my husband very much, as he was her son. My husband tells me that my mother can be a bit of a hassle and that he is mama's boy, but that Beth is the one who really runs the show. Beth probably thinks that her elder sister is the most dependable. So, of course, she considers me, who married him, to be an enemy. And what's even funnier is that it takes only about 20 minutes by car from my in-laws' house to our house, which are not too far away from each other. So that's why Beth persistently visit her nonstop. Andrew basically refuses Beth, saying he's too busy, but if he doesn't show up at least once a month, Beth will start to worry about him, so he has no choice but to visit her. I wouldn't really mind if Beth only my husband, but she also picks on me, harasses me, which is very annoying.
Oh, Megan, I made you some tea. Well, this is your third cup with the used tea leaves, but I'm sure the tea will still taste fine.
Oh, thank you very much. It's so sour.
There seemed to be a lot of vinegar tea, so it tasted extremely sour, and seeing me frowning and making faces was so sour. Beth was holding her sewn, laughing.
It really is worth teasing you around.
And that's how Beth would suddenly surprise me in an unexpected way. And not only that, but she usually says something very abusive towards me. And the unfair thing is that Beth W. do that in front of my husband, only when it is just the two of us, on me, and is mean to me. And lately, Beth has been picking, or by asking, me questions whether we blessed with her grandchild or not.
Oh, Megan, when are you going to get...
Well, Andrew and I are both still, we are not really in a hurry about. Besides, Andrew and I have been tall, not really planning, but waiting for opportunity for me to get pregnant natural way.
Well, it seems like that natural timing hasn't come at all. You are infertile, aren't you?
Excuse me?
Of course, you must be infertile. I really do feel sorry for Andrew for marrying a wife like you.
Beth would say those horrible things to me as if it was a normal thing. Why should I be the one being told Beth? Firstly, it's not right that she should have me as an enemy just because I married the eldest son, and it's also not right for her to be directly attacking me verbally. I was honestly overwhelmed by Beth this and attacking me like this. I thought about talking to Andrew, but he had just been promoted at work and was quite busy with his new responsibilities. So because of that, I didn't want to cause him any unnecessary troubles. I should take care of this by myself. Since thinking that, I then tried via things. I tried praising Beth, and on the core, also tried arguing back to her about bullying me. But none of them worked at all, because it only made Beth even more annoying than before. Then, I had heard that Andrew's little brother, Thomas, was getting married. While I congratulated Thomas and his wife Tobe on their marriage, I felt a bit bad for Thomas's ex-partner, Kim. I'm completely sure that Kimberly would be in trouble if she found out that her mother-in-law was such an insane, jealous woman. Afterwards, Thomas got married to Kimberly, who is now his wife. At a huge wedding ceremony, Kimberly was very beautiful in her dress, and she had a great shape. And seeing her beautiful wedding dress, I thought she was going to be photographed for a magazine. Then came the first New Year's after, and Kimberly got married. At my in-laws' house, relatives gather for a dinner party on New Year's Eve. I was sure that Kimberly would have been there with Beth to help out at the party. If she looks like she's having a hard time, I should be there to support her. That's what I thought to myself, but surprised to see what had happened Year's Eve.
Oh, Kimberly, let's have a drink over there.
All right, Beth. To my surprise, Beth didn't ask Kimberly to help prepare for the dinner at all and just treated her nicely.
Oh, Kimberly, you're a very nice girl, and I'm just so proud of you. She's so different from my eldest C, who does everything wrong when I do something for me. Having Kimberly here is enough. I don't need any other wife other than her.
That's what Beth would say to all her relatives, was filled with anger and embarrassment. It seemed that Beth thought she was the center of attention just because she was with Kimberly, who was a model, and everyone wanted to be around her. So that's why Beth seems to like Ken more. On the other hand, Beth would still tease me whenever we were alone in the kitchen.
You really are an inconsiderate person, aren't you? If someone has an empty glass, go pour a glass of beer right away. Compared to Kimberly, you're not even close to being a beauty queen, and the only thing you're good at is doing household chores. You're a woman who is infertile and even get pregnant. So just hurry up and do the chores.
Beth treated me like that, and in this saw a huge gap between how I was being treated and how Kimberly was being treated by Beth. I think it's amazing that she can attitude so blatantly. I tried not to provoke Beth anymore, so I returned to the dining hall at 1:30 p.m., according to her schedule. While I was eating at a table away from some of the relatives who were sitting nearby, they encouraged me.
Beth is someone who takes advantage of situations. I mean, she changes her mind so blatantly. You really are having a hard, huh? Now that Beth's in a good mood from the drinks, you should also enjoy the food and drinks while she's being like that.
Thank you.
Since some relatives are kin this way, I have managed to endure crappy treatment from Beth. But then something unbearable happened. One day, I will be able to say that I have done something worthwhile with my life. My husband received a phone call from his boss.
What? Dad's 60th birthday celebration?
We were planning to all get together as a family and celebrate his birthday. Of course you'll come, right?
Yeah, I will.
Could you also ask Megan for her to the celebration too?
Sure, I'll even ask if she can make it or...
Beth's voice is really loud, so I can usually hear it on my phone and understand what she's saying.
I think you've heard all about it. But what do you think, Megan? Do you think you can go?
I thought about it. I really did not want to see Beth as possible, but it would create bitter feeling. The only one not attending Jack's birthday celebration. Thomas and Kimberly would definitely come. So if I were to go, then I would be the only one not attending. Well, Beth wouldn't bully me when they're with me, so I guess I'd be fine. I told Andrew that I would attend with him, and we went shopping for a gift to celebrate Jack's 60th birthday. About 2 weeks later, the day of Jack's birthday celebration arrived. We were told that the party would start at 6:30 p.m. So my husband and I arrived on time for a dinner party. We headed to a fancy restaurant where we had been invited by Beth. When we arrived and were shown to our room, All the other relatives were already there.
Oh, so everyone had already arrived. You're all early.
My husband said that, and to that replied, no. Mother told us that the dinner party starts at 6:00 p.m.
No, it's from 6:30, right?
My husband looks at me as he said that. To that, I said, yes, Beth called before yesterday. About the start told me that it would be from 6:30. Then to this, Beth says, I clearly would start from 6:00 p.m. Didn't you must have misunderstood? To get angry.
I don't want you to talk as if it was your fault when you're the one who got it.
As she said that, it hit me I was being set up. Beth was trying to make me the bad, get everyone to blame me.
Oh, there. It's not like we're gonna run out of food and water. Now that we're all here, let's make the most of it.
Jack, who was the main host of the said so, and it was settled for the being. My husband and I walked to the end dining hall where there was an empty, but then I noticed something. When I got there, there was only one left. It can't be. It was Beth who had organized this party. There was no way that Beth would not have prepared a seat for Andrew. She probably lied about the sewn time because she wanted to make sure of being the last to arrive.
You didn't prepare a seat for me?
When I asked her that, Beth said, with a huge grin on her face,
Did I perhaps make a mistake? Did I seat for you? I'm sorry. I thought I had enough seats for everyone, but I must have made a mistake then.
Beth lied in a way that was complete for me to understand that it was a... Then Andrew said, I'll see if I see another seat, and left the room. I felt a little awkward being in this, just standing around, so I left and waited for my husband to come back. Then, for some reason, Beth also left the room. Beth seemed to think that this was chance to be alone and bully me.
Your panicking face was a masterpiece.
Aren't you ashamed at all for doing? If Jack or Andrew find out about your bullying me like this, they will be on your side.
Excuse me? Of course, they won't find out. I'm bullying you in a way that they won't ever find out about it.
I see. But I really didn't think that you prepare a seat for me here today.
Because a wife is only a stranger. Because we're not even related by blood. This is a family gathering, so there need to prepare a seat for a person.
Then what about Kimberly? She is a wife too.
She is special. If she's there, then everyone will be watching her.
See below for spelling and grammar mistakes. Well, I've had enough. Even if I could get an extra seat, I'm leaving.
Well, duh, of course. Who would even allow you to attend party? Oh, but you will have to pay for the restaurant bill.
Beth looked so proud of herself as that. But I've had enough, and I can't take it anymore. I will not obey with what Beth says.
Oh, do stop talking nonsense, Beth. I will never pay a stranger's bill, even if they are a stranger to me.
When I said that, Beth's face turned red.
This is not nonsense. And also, you're telling your own mother-in-law.
That a wife like me is a stranger. Do you pay for other people's meals or drinks, Beth? Well, you certainly don't look like a saint who would even do that, though.
Just shut up and pay up.
How persistent are you? I'm leaving now.
Oh, no. Are you really leaving?
When I really tried to leave, Beth panicked.
What do you want? You are the one who kicked me out.
Well, it's my treat for today's celebration. That's why I'm supposed to pay for dinner party.
Oh, so you mean to tell me that you off with this fancy restaurant with intention of making me pay for it?
Is there anything else you would like to know about our services? So you have no choice but to pay for it.
Beth's logic completely made no sense. I felt ridiculous and said, I'm Leah headed for the exit. Beth was screaming at me, but I ignored her and left the restaurant. About 5 minutes later, I received a call from Andrew.
Megan, where did you go? Mom said that you left on your own.
I really can't stand it anymore.
Huh? What are you talking about?
You'll understand when you hear what I'm about to send you.
I hung up the phone and listened to the recording of my previous conversation with Beth, which I had secretly recorded earlier. I had actually decided to handle the situation myself without consulting anyone. So I made sure to start the recording app whenever I was alone. A little while after I sent the Reese, Andrew sent me a message saying, me. Since Andrew said that I left him, I went on home. Half an hour later, Andrew called me and said that he had kicked Beth out of their house and that I should come over to the parking. So I did as I was told and went back to the restaurant. And when I entered the private room, Jack and Thomas came over to apologize.
Oh, Megan, I'm so sorry that I did realize my stupid wife was doing something terrible to you.
I'm really sorry about that, Megan. I should have watched Mom more care too.
Megan, I am so sorry for all the Pa caused you. I should have been the one to protect most.
I felt a little better when they all apologized to me that way. According to Andrew, he played the piano in front of everyone and began to sing Beth right then and there. Since she couldn't deny it as the E was there, it seems that Jack became angry at her and told Beth that he was divorcing her and kicked her out. Beth actually asked for Kimberly's number, but Kimberly cut her off, saying, I do not date people who are mean to me. And no one took Beth's side. And Beth, why do you believe what that woman said? And to that, Jack responded, that's enough. I can't do this anymore. You're divorced from me. And she kicked him out of the restaurant. With Beth gone, there was room for me, and I was able to attend the party, and we celebrated Jack's 60th in peace. Jack was very pleased with the gift husband and I picked out for him in great time. We paid half of the bill, and the one was paid by Thomas and Kimberly. After that, Jack really had to divorce. Beth asked Andrew and Thomas for help, but both of them were so disappointed in their own mother that they ignored her. Beth, who had been a housewife all her life now, lived alone in a rundown apartment, working part-time for minimum wage. Seeing Beth living her life like that, though I knew this already, I thought to myself that I would never bully anyone again. If I ever have children and they grow up in the future, I will make sure that they never become like Beth. For now, I will enjoy our peaceful life as much as I can.
It's incredible that Beth would try to make her daughter-in-law pay for something without even preparing a seat for her. I was just really appalled at Beth and how she treated me again. After all, that's the reason Jack D. Beth. So I do believe that Beth deserves God. I wish Megan a happy life with her husband.
Thank you for watching until the end. Please subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you in our next video.